What's up YouTube, this is Bystander X79 and today I'm coming to you with my thoughts about how the Sky Striker archetype is going to be evolving in the future sets of Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, so most recently, Sky Strikers have been around since the Dark Saviors sets dropped earlier this year. We've gotten basically most of the archetype in that set. We just recently got Sky Striker Ace Hayate in Cybernetic Horizons. I know Soul Fusion, we're going to be getting Sky Striker Vector Blast, Sky Striker Maneuver Vector Blast in that set. Considering that Hayate was kept at the same rarity as Shizuku and Kagari, the other two Link 1 Sky Striker Ace monsters, I believe that the Sky Striker Maneuver Vector Blast is going to wind up being a secret rare, just like Sky Striker Maneuver Afterburners and Sky Striker Maneuver Jamming Waves were. But my thoughts are going to be just a little bit further in the sets that are coming out. I know we have Savage Strike coming out after Soul Fusion. We're getting Soul Fusion, what was it, end of October, beginning of November. That's going to be our last core set of the year. OCG is going to be getting Savage Strike around, I think, at the beginning of October. So hopefully within maybe in the next few weeks, we're going to start getting leaks about what's going to be in that set. With that being said, I'm pretty certain that they're going to probably continue the Sky Striker Ace Link monsters, and we're going to probably get an Earth Attribute monster in that set. The Earth Attribute monster is more than likely going to have the bottom right hand corner. Since Shizuku and Kagari have the top two, and Hayate has the bottom left, the bottom right will probably be the Earth Attribute. I kind of want to see that the Earth Attribute give the deck a little bit more ability to, say, recycle the Sky Striker Ace Link monsters back into your extra deck. Maybe, yeah, just like, say, Kagari has the ability to recur a spell card from your graveyard. Maybe upon summon, the Earth Attribute will turn around and allow you to target Sky Striker Ace Link monsters that are in your graveyard that haven't been summoned this turn, with attributes that haven't been summoned this turn, and allow you to recycle them back into your extra deck. I think that will be a fair thing. I know that the deck doesn't really have any recursion for the Link monsters, so if the game does go long and you blow through your Sky Striker Links, you're going to be in a bit of a jam without that recursion. I myself have been running Jar of Arvis to help counteract that, just to help extend those plays a little bit more. But the one thing I want to turn around and really talk about is that, yeah, so Savage Strike will probably have the Earth Attribute, the set that comes after Savage Strike. Savage Strike will be our January set, or the first set, core booster set of 2019 for the TCG. Whatever set that comes out after Savage Strike will be which will be the first 2019 core set for the OCG, and our May set for 2019. We're probably going to get the Sky Striker Maneuver spell card in that set for the Earth Attribute Link. So far it makes sense, but the thing I really want to focus on is going forward, because I really don't want to see I don't want to see a light or a dark, because if you really think about it, Ray is already a dark attribute. I'm thinking that the token is a light attribute, so we really don't need a dark or a light attribute monsters as links. I think it's pretty good with just the four basic attributes: Earth, Wind, Fire, Water. But the thing about it is that how they're going to move this archetype and give us the boss monsters that this archetype so desperately needs. I mean, when I was first looking at the Sky Striker archetype, that's the first thing that really jumped out at me, that the archetype didn't have any boss monsters, and we were relying purely on just having to build these guys to generate advantage, and then ultimately try to build into bigger Link monsters using tokens and monsters we probably steal from your opponent using Widow Anchor. In the late game situation, just to get over your opponent. I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think that in my opinion, I think that the Sky Striker archetype does deserve boss monsters, and I think I figured out how they're going to probably do it. Take a look at Hayate's link arrow. It's bottom left. I'm going to come over to Shizuku. Upper right. Alright, the fact that those arrows are in those positions means that Shizuku and Hayate were meant to be co-linked. Alright, which means Kagari, which is the upper left, and that means the Earth Attribute is going to be the bottom right, which means Kagari and the Earth Attribute were meant to be co-linked. That being said, I think the next step, not to be maybe build into bigger link monsters, because I think that's what everybody's gonna say. I mean, that's one way you can go. They can go, and this, to me, that's predictable. But for me, I want to see them start to extend link monsters into the other summoning mechanics. I kind of want to see, and I think a good matchup would be maybe having link fusions. So in that case, I'm gonna say that the boss monsters are gonna be contact fusions between co-link monsters. All right, so Hayate and Shizuku will be one contact fusion. Kagari and whatever the Earth Attribute one is going to be the other contact fusion. The wind water one will be the storm will be like a storm contact fusion, while the earth fire one will be a volcano contact fusion, similar to how they did with the Storm Neos and Magma Neos in that respect when they had released those cards. Okay. That being said, I can see the storm. How are we going to turn around and do the fusion link? Is basically you're going to have the normal fusion color border. The only difference is that in the background you see the link hexagons. You'll see the link hexagons with the borders. You'll have the link arrows and a link rating. Probably be the link 2, or maybe even higher, depending on what they want to do. If they want to add, maybe they want to add an array into the mix, yeah, to turn around and extend it a little further to make it a link 3. I mean, like I said, I'm not sure. I mean, just the 2 co-links would be awesome, but I think if it's like Sky Striker Ray plus 2 co-link monsters, plus 2 co-linked Sky Striker Ace link monsters, with different attributes, I think that might actually work as well. This way we can actually get them up to at least maybe a link 3 and a little bit more power. For the Storm one, I can see that it having the bottom corners link arrows because rain falls. And for the Volcano one, I can see the upper 2 corners because volcanoes explode outwards, inject a lot of stuff into the atmosphere. The Volcano one's typically maybe a little bit stronger, so you may put it a little bit higher at 28, while the Storm one might bottom out around maybe 25, 2600. I think that might be good attack values for both of them. I can see R&D possibly slapping on a clause where you can only control one of each on the field at any one time. But considering that the other Sky Striker link monsters have arrows that point down, Hayate points to the bottom left, and the Earth Attribute will most likely point to the bottom right, which means depending on how you set up the extra link board, yeah, that'll be a 3 monster extra link board in a V shape. You can go from the right to the left with the Storm one in the corner, the Volcano one on the field, and then Hayate in the right extra monster zone, or you can flip it with the Earth one in the left one. So that's just my thoughts. I mean, I think that might be a good way to turn around and a good way to actually include the extra link into the Sky Striker archetype. I mean, those are just my ideas. As for the effects, Volcano one, since both I mentioned what I thought the Earth Attribute effect might be, and Kagari has a spell recursion, so I would think that it would have some sort of recursion. The Volcano one would have some sort of recursion effect. Maybe targeting a certain number of Sky Striker cards in your graveyard to basically put them back into your graveyard and then draw an equal number of cards. I think that would be fun. Maybe it gets a power. Maybe they won't turn on go as high as 2800. Maybe they might bottom out both of the contact fusions at 2500, and then there will be a power up effect for the volcano one where you can banish an X number of Sky Striker spells from your graveyard to power boost it by maybe, I would say maybe do 200 a card, because you're banishing 10. This doesn't seem right. To get, yeah, banishing 10 to get 1,000 points doesn't seem right to me. I think maybe banish up to like something like, yeah, 5 spell cards from your graveyard, or 5 Sky Striker spells from your graveyard to increase the monster's attack by 200 for each. I think that would be a little bit more fair. As for the Storm, since Hayate dumps a card in the graveyard and Suzuku turns around and does an end-phase search, I would probably think maybe we turn around and have something involving the extra deck, not the main deck. Maybe sending a Sky Striker one Sky Striker Link monster from your deck to your extra deck to your graveyard, and decrease all your opponent's monsters' attack by the selected monster's attack. So selected monster's attack. So basically, all your opponent's monsters lose 1,500. I think that would be cool. Make it a quick effect. As for the thing, maybe it gives you a draw based on the number of Sky Striker spell cards that are in your graveyard with different names that you activate at turn. I mean, I think that might be a little bit more fair instead of just counting up all the ones that have different names. I would actually think, yeah, and that's what I actually think that the cards might be. I mean, they could be just higher rated Link monsters, but I kind of hope that they start including other archetype. Fusion. Mechanics in with Link monsters first. I think Sky Strikers would be a great idea to include Contact Fusion in, just to turn around and add just a little bit more spice and more strategy into the archetype. That being said, these are my thoughts about how I think the Sky Striker archetype should evolve over time. Do I think they were going to give us both fusion monsters at once? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, who knows? They can just keep the stuff going. Maybe give us one fusion monster and then maybe a support card for that fusion monster. And then this next fusion monster and then another support card. I mean, they could do that. Or they could just do both fusion monsters in one set and then both support cards in the next. I mean, I really don't know. We're talking about sets that haven't been even announced yet. And R&D's probably still are working on these cards. I'm just putting this idea out there just to try and give an idea of how I feel the archetype should evolve. So guys, let me know in the comments below how you think the Sky Striker archetype should really evolve. Love to hear your thoughts about this. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. Enable notifications to be alerted whenever I throw up new videos. Guys, check out my Twitter account at bystander79 on Twitter. I'm also on Twitch, bystanderx79 as well. And guys, until next time, peace.